All right, y'all. So with repetition, this is how you learn. So this stream is going to just be on the latest news. And so I'm going to start with just the book, Becoming an Emotional Puppet. And then I'm going to present a video to you from what the book is stating.
Welcome to Audiobook Vision. Today, we are diving into the puppet strings, leveraging emotional cravings for control. Before we get started, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and share it with others who are hungry for change. And for those of you looking for something extra, check out our channel membership for exclusive content and perks tailored just for you. Introduction: The power of emotional cravings. There is a force that moves us, silent and unseen, like the pull of the moon on the tides. It is not logic, nor reason, nor the cold calculus of self-interest. It is something deeper, something primal. It is the ache in our chests, the hunger in our hearts, the longing that whispers to us in the quietest hours of the night. Emotional cravings, those intangible yearnings for connection, validation, security, or pleasure, are the invisible strings that guide so much of what we do. And those who understand how to pull them hold a power that is both profound and perilous. To crave is to be human. We crave love, acceptance, belonging. We crave success, recognition, meaning. We crave the thrill of the new and the comfort of the familiar. These desires are not just fleeting whims, they are woven into the fabric of our being, shaped by our experiences, our fears, and our hopes. They are the emotional undercurrents that shape our decisions, often without us even realizing it. But here lies the question: what happens when someone else learns to navigate these currents? What happens when they learn to speak the language of our cravings, to tap into our deepest desires and fears? This is where the line between influence and manipulation begins to blur. It is a line as fine as a spider's silk, and just as easy to miss. The psychology of cravings is a study in vulnerability. When we crave something, we are not at our most rational. We are driven by emotion, by a need that feels urgent and all-consuming. This emotional depth makes us susceptible to influence, whether from advertisers, politicians, leaders, or even loved ones. They offer us something, a promise, a solution, a vision, that aligns with what we desire most. And in that moment, we may not stop to ask whether the strings they pull are guiding us toward our own good or theirs. This is the ethical dilemma at the heart of this chapter. Is it control or manipulation? Is it guidance or exploitation? The answer is not always clear. After all, influence is not inherently malicious. A teacher who inspires a student to dream bigger, a leader who rallies a community toward a shared goal, a friend who encourages us to be our best selves, these are all forms of influence rooted in an understanding of emotional cravings. But when does it cross the line? When does it become less about empowering others and more about serving oneself? As we delve into the mechanisms of emotional cravings and the ways they can be leveraged, we must tread carefully. For in understanding this power, we also confront its potential for harm. The puppet strings are there, whether we see them or not. The question is, who holds them and to what end? This chapter is an exploration of that question. It is a journey into the heart of what drives us and a reckoning with the forces that seek to steer us. It is a call to awareness, to vigilance, and to the ethical use of the power we all hold, whether we realize it or not, to shape the lives of others. Because in the end, the strings are not just in the hands of others. They are in ours, too. And what we choose to do with them says everything about who we are. Chapter 1. The Science of Emotional Cravings. Somewhere deep within the labyrinth of the human brain, a spark ignites. It is not the kind of spark that lights a fire or powers a machine. It is quieter, subtler, but no less powerful. It is the spark of desire, a craving that begins as a whisper and grows into a roar. This is where the story of emotional cravings begins, in the intricate dance of neurons, chemicals, and subconscious impulses that shape who we are and what we do. To understand emotional cravings is to understand the brain itself. At the core of this process is dopamine, a neurotransmitter often dubbed the feel-good chemical. But dopamine...
I'm getting into the brain of familiarity. What is familiar? What is familiar brings emotions. See, the reason that, for those of you who carry yourself a certain way, I'm not on my microphone, by the way. Why you experience, and this is talking to black culture, why you experience, when you interact with people and they interact with you a certain way, whether your own race or not, because it's familiar. You feel me? And I want to get into this video with Mayor Eric Adams. And what I am teaching you in dark psychology is how to take the emotions out of it and go into your logical mind. You see what I'm saying? I even want you, if someone ever breaks down crying to you, to not even believe, do not even believe the emotions or the tears, but listen to what they are saying. And I know that sounds strange to like shut off your emotions and listen to what someone is saying, but it takes great practice. But energetically, you have to already be there where your emotions is already kind of just shut down. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm there already in my life. You know what I'm saying? Where with other people, my emotions are shut down. The only feelings that I feel is my own feelings for whatever it is that I choose to feel about. Do you get what I'm saying? Other people I don't choose to have any type of feelings for. So Mayor Eric Adams got into it with Letitia. Letitia, she's been around a long time. She's been around longer than him, honestly. I have seen this woman's name, and I don't think I remember looking at her, but I always knew her name. Because that's the thing. A lot of these politicians, I can recognize their name, but not so much of their faces. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, so listen to. Okay, I found it.
So you think you know Wix? Do you really? First up, we've got shape video masks. You can use different shapes to create.
I'm going to refrain from any comment until such time as we complete those discussions and determine the fate of the mayor of the city of New York.
Yep. All these Negroes were asking me to step down. God forgive them.
Okay. Anytime you have to, the psychology of the black male in this position. This is a deep psychosis. This goes back to slavery. Okay. And it's somebody who is mentioning the same thing that I'm talking about. I told you that the pastor came into the church to preach the word of being a good slave to get into heaven, and to be a good slave for the slave master to get into heaven. He was used for that. Also, the churches were used for them to congregate about getting free. So the pastor was the one that put them back under the spell of slavery and to be a good slave. Okay? There's a reason, there's a science to why the preaching and the sound is the way that it is. That was taught. You understand that a lot of occultists, a lot of Masons, and all these people who had secret knowledge, They understand, the white male, period, understands the power of words and the power of that pen. This is how he has been ruling for so many years and kicking ass for so many years. Okay? So this right here. Now listen to the vernacular. When he said, all these people doing this to me, God forgive them. And you see that smile on his face. He's smiling because he got them. He got them exactly emotionally where he wants to get them. I'm about to look up this man, but I think he's a Sagittarius. Let me see.
Are you stupid?
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. You know it helps us out a ton, and it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this marvelous content. Now, y'all, today all I gotta say is, yo! I know I shocked you there, but
stop yelling, nigga. He a Virgo. He a Virgo. Yeah, the rat.
Oh my gosh, did y'all see that coming up, that intro clip? Mayor Adams is going scorched earth. I mean,
okay, now you see how this person is responding to this, because they got hooked in to what he just said. Now pay attention to what else he does after this person talks. Oh, where am I being at?
He broke out the N-word, not the N-word, but the N-word. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all check it out. Mayor Adams looks like he's fed up with people who are opposing him, probably talking about people in his own state. I suspect that he is at least indirectly including Letitia James in his.
Well, we know he's including Letitia James because of the way Letitia James looks. She has that average, annoying black mammy look. You know, running her mouth all the time, something, always got to get the last word, you know what I'm saying, the school PTA, the scammer. She got that look. So they want him to be talking to her, you know? And then this person right here is all hyping it up and, yeah, with something else. And then he used the term Negro because that was to enforce emotions, that was to enforce anger. So anytime anybody used the N-word, whether Negro or nigga, whatever, that's always indication of like cussing or getting mad. That's what that's about.
Is people who are encouraging him to step down. Now you might say, why do you think Letitia James would be included? I'm going to show you a quick clip of something Letitia James said recently, and you tell me after you watch this clip if you think he may or may not have had her in his mind when he said that.
I am the director of post-production and head of YouTube at Iconic Saga, Cam Newton's production company. Last month, both our channels did about 80 uploads apiece. What do you think about Mayor Adams?
Her character and what you know of Danielle?
So at this point, there's a number of discussions going on. There's discussions going on the state level. There's a number of discussions going on the local level and private discussions. So at this point in time, I'm going to refrain from any comment until such time as we complete those discussions and determine the fate of the mayor of the city of New York.
Yep.
So as you can see, Letitia James has publicly said that she's going to decide the fate of Mayor Adams. I can't imagine that he took too kindly to that. So y'all, what we're going to do, I'm going to let you see some clips from this speech that he gave last night. The entire speech is not that long. I will include the link for the entire speech. There were multiple speakers, but I'll include that in the description. I'm going to include some clips here from Mayor Adams' speech. It was fiery. It was provocative. It was incendiary. I think he's ready to fight, y'all. And frankly, I'm breaking out my popcorn. I'm ready to watch. So you already know, y'all, appreciate y'all watching, trying to get to that coveted 100,000 subscriber mark. So, you know, we have like 300 and something left to go. So hit the subscribe button. You could be the 100,000th subscriber for our channel. We certainly appreciate that. Stop everything you're doing right now. Y'all hit the share button, put in somebody's WhatsApp, somebody's text message, somebody's Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Just share this video out, please. And you already know, love y'all, appreciate y'all, and let's get right into the content.
And remember what happened when
By the way, I hate you, nigga. Fuck you telling me
those
about
flames were prematurely being blown out? What do? You had to cuff it. There are people in our lives that are flickering right now. They're about to go out for so many.
This is where we going. This is where we going, right? Pay attention to this for your own life. Pay attention. Eric Adams, from what I understand, is a fucking criminal. And I know he's a fucking criminal. He's in New York City and he's the mayor and he got the crime to go down, so he said. And I believe he probably did. But the thing is, he's gonna have he's in cahoots with the criminals in order for that to happen. Let's stop playing games. Now watch how he starts this and flips it. Pay attention.
Many reasons. They're in a state of depression. They're in a state of mental health. They're in a state of uncertainty. They're in a state of homelessness. They're in a state of abusive relationship. They're going through some stuff. And we see them and say, how are you doing? And they say, I'm hurting. And you say, have a nice day. Stop and cuff them. Cuff them. Stop the winds of adversity from blowing out the flame. Don't just sit there and watch people prematurely lose their flame, because the flame you allow.
Everybody going through something right now under Trump's presidency. The people who have not taken responsibility and made their life self-sufficient, the people who do not know how to make their life self-sufficient, they made it self-sufficient by using the system. The people who have health issues out here, who are afraid because now they're going to have to come out their pocket to pay for their medical conditions, especially if it's kind of fucked up. It's like, it's not their fault, but it's kind of like spiritually it is their fault type situation. It's kind of like that type of thing, low key. Then there is child care, which was already expensive, and people getting cut off unless you got money and your child can come here. It's a lot. We know that already. And he knows that everybody in New York, they don't really talk to nobody unless they know each other for real, for real. So what's so surprising and new about what he's talking about? We already know that's going on.
How to go out prematurely is the flame you're going to need in your life. So this is a biblical moment.
So this was something about, that was an attack in general on this whole Trump thing, because I noticed a lot of people in Black and people of color culture, everybody is praying and preachy and churchy and all this kind of stuff as if that's going to change anything. It just doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? They think it's going to do something, but it's really not. The only people controlling shit is the Supreme Court. I mean, literally. And a lot of these laws they going through. A lot of the shit Trump is doing, they going through. You know what I'm saying? The budget cuts that they not allowing is the health, the Medicaid. They're not going to allow that to get cut. But they don't give a damn about your Section 8. They don't really care too much about your food stamps getting cut. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that they don't give a fuck about it getting cut. But the Medicaid and the Medicare, the reason why people are caring is because of their own experience with their own families. Like, this happened to this, it's a little bit more closer. So you're hitting everybody when you're saying something about Medicaid. But now he goes and says, this is a biblical moment. Well, why is this becoming biblical? Well, because he's trying to make you his emotional puppet. See? Well, that's not the picture, but He's trying to make you his. He's going to make them his emotional puppet. Let's go from the outside in, okay? It's a biblical moment. Now watch what he does with his voice. Remember tone.
You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
I'm so fucking tired of hearing that. These people know exactly what they're doing. As long as you've been here, I've been telling y'all, these people know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly who they are attacking. They know exactly who they're cutting money from, and they do not care. If you keep walking around with that delusional mentality, it's going to fuck you up. They know exactly what they do. Narcissists know exactly what they do. A mean, selfish motherfucker knows exactly what they're doing. Don't ever mistake in that. A sneaky, scammy, conniving motherfucker knows exactly what they're doing. That's why they do it. Just like he knows exactly what he's doing on this podium, talking and making it biblical, because he knows how to pull the emotional puppet strings. He's going to pull the emotional puppet strings because everyone is afraid right now. Quiet is kept. Everyone is afraid. Everyone is angry and embarrassed. Could you imagine someone walking around here, make America great again, in their red hats and their t-shirts and stuff, and you are the very poor person that the person you voted for attacks? You are the very poor person. You have to be told you are poor and you are at my level. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to be in the team with the jocks and they looking at you like you a bum. You can't be a part of this. Take that for it. Fuck your hat. You fell for the okie doke. We wasn't talking to you. That's embarrassing. So he has the perfect time to play on the emotional strings of everyone. Now watch how he does it.
All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying fuck them. Pay attention to the tone. Fuck them.
Are you stupid? I'm running my race right now. How in the middle of the race, a race that has built more housing.
He says, fuck you, stupid. That's what he just said. He said, fuck you, stupid bitch. I'm running my race right now. I'm the year of the rat. The rat beat everybody through using everybody, through scamming, through trickery. He's running his race.
In year 1 and year 2 in the history of the city. A race where you put 33% billions of dollars in MWBEs. A race where you are witnessing more young people signed up for pre-K and 3K in the history of the program. More people cycle out of homelessness into permanent housing in the history of individual years. More people moving from homelessness into permanent housing in the history of those independent years. More people participating in the FEP voucher program in the history of the program. More jobs in the city of New York in its 400-year history. 1 in 5 jobs in small businesses started under this administration. Decreasing the cost of childcare so mothers can go back and be in the work environment from $55 a week to less than $5 a week. Taking 20,000 handguns off our street so bullets don't carve highways of death, killing our young people so they can't run their relay. Closing over 1,300 smoke shops in the city. Paying for the college tuition of foster care children so they can go to college and get a life coach until they're 26 years old. What we have done, you have to be
That's what he said he did. Sounds great, right? But it'll be on record. So you can always research to see what he did. Right? You can always just go. I could tell you as someone that lived in that city for a very long time. Damn, I was in New York for a long, living in that city for a very long time. I'm going to tell you, the shelter's a fucking hustle. They get about 1,200 a head. Some of them more than that, depending. Like Manhattan, I think they get about 3 stacks. I remember a lady telling me that a head at the fucking at them shelters. Some people prefer to live in a shelter because of all the benefits that they get in the shelter. Family shelters get the best benefits. Those are the best shelters. And then we can only research the shit that he claimed that he did. Okay? Let's go.
Stupid to try to stop me from running this race. So
basically, I'm too clever. I'm too clever. I'm too good at what I do. I'm too good at being a wordsmith. And I'm very good at being an emotional puppet master.
the level of buffoonery that's going on, that's spreading as fast as COVID. Well, you shouldn't be talking to the president. What? I'm the mayor of the biggest city in America. I will talk to who I want to talk to bring services to your city.
Wait. At the end of the day, Trump is a racist and white supremacist. And still you had to go to that racist and white supremacist for help to get you crawled up out of what the fuck you was in, nigga. Let's not do that. You still had to use racist and white supremacy to obtain what you needed to, nigga. So let's not play no games about what you did. Let's not play no games about that. Once again, deceit. That's pure deceit right there. Because if you Mr. Big Dick Willie, sir, you wouldn't need Donald Trump for that. You wouldn't need the white.
Understand people why people are angry. I'm going to tell you this over and over again so it resonates. I'm you. I'm you. They want to talk about me, I talk about you.
Now he made it personal. Now he makes it personal. I ain't you, nigga. Fuck out of here. But he made it personal. We all know we ain't him. We all know we ain't him, and we damn sure don't want to be no goddamn black man. It's rough enough being a black woman, but goddamn it, I'd rather fucking play motherfucking stand in traffic with a bunch of Mack trucks than to be a motherfucking black man. Okay?
They want to fight me, I fight for you. I am you. And I'm going to continue to fight on your behalf. We came in with a clear agenda, folks. We didn't act like, go look at what I ran on. You go look at all the items that I ran on, and you will check them off and see we accomplished them. I knew what I was doing when I became mayor, because I knew if I stood close to you, if I stood true to you, regardless of what anyone states and say, I can deliver for you. And
wait, I can deliver for you. These are religious words that black people resonate with. These are the religious words that black people resonate with. So there goes the trickery And there goes the preaching.
Assembled the right team to do it. You saw them speaking. You saw what they're about. These are authentic, caring people with life stories. They've gone through a lot, and we're helping people who are going through a lot. So my flame is still burning.
How this girl turned beef organs into a supplement that changed the lives of thousands of women. Years ago, Shelby struggled with hormone imbalance, low energy, weight gain, and it was all down to poor nutrition. When she reached 28, she decided to turn things around. But even the keto, Zumba, probiotics, green drinks, and everything else she tried weren't the game changer she was looking for. She went on a hunt for something that offered maximum nutrition without the gross taste or handful of pills. And what she
Gotta love AI.
And I'm going to leave the right foundation. We're not going to see all of this throughout the years materialize based on what we've laid out. Think about Adam Powell. When Adam Powell was removed from Congress, and a journalist came to him and put his mic in his face and said, "Look at you now, Adam. You're no longer the big chairman that you were. You're no longer this important person." And Adam looked at him with that cigar in his mouth. And he said, "Keep the faith, baby. Keep the faith." Adam already started the integration of the military services. He already put in place the economic stability and programs in place. He's already started integrating law enforcement communities and police communities. He knew that he had to run his mile, and he ran his mile, and he handed off the baton that others like Hakeem Jeffries and Rangel and others were able to continue to do the things that we have. And so that's what I want to say to you during this month where we celebrate Black history. Just allow your flame to burn. That's all. Just do what you're supposed to do during your time. And then you could move and rest in peace that you know you lived the life that you're supposed to do. Mommy raised the 6 of us, and she did it to know that one day we were going to have a real...
He used the word mommy. Mommy is a very personal word. Raised the 6 of us. So now he's connecting with the struggling fucking women who choose to have babies that they cannot afford. Okay? This is who he's talking to now.
Impact. Mommy wasn't here when I became mayor. She died months away and transitioned. But she was at peace because she said, "I let my flame light the flame for the next, so my baby can be the second Black mayor of the city of New York." So light your flame, people. Don't let anyone extinguish it. Don't let it go out prematurely. Make sure that it burns as long as it's supposed to.
Don't let your flame go out. But this nigga right here, come on, let me go back to a picture of him. This nigga right here, this one you looking at, the one that's smiling, because he got you. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. He got you. He got you. You ain't peep how his hand was. You didn't peep the smile on his face when he was talking. I peeped that shit. Uh-oh, what's going on? Damn, I didn't know I could do that. How the fuck I do that? Letitia, move, girl. This one right here, he went to Donald Trump. No. He went to white supremacy for help. We just gonna bypass that? I'm in the most biggest city in this country. What the fuck am I supposed to? Oh, okay, I'm a nigga and I need help. And I got to go to white supremacy because I have nothing. I don't own nothing. I don't own no mega corporation. It's white people that put me in this position. It's white people. It's the white man that put me right here to do this. It's the white man that keeps me here. So I can do what I can do for y'all because the white man is the one who's really doing it. But I'm just the face of it. In the next video, I'm going to show you, he said something that I forgot about. The pastor was the only one that was allowed to know how to read. That's so fucking true. I really skipped that part. So this was the black conservative that I found where there was a pastor. He's going to go into the whole story. Pretty much this pastor got insulted by one of the black people at the White House at the Black History Month at the White House. You know they had Black History Month at the White House 2 years ago, right? I literally saw a video of Black History Month at the White House, and it was 2 years ago. I don't know if it was just a video just showcasing Black history in the White House or if it was actually people there, but I just want to make note of that. But we're going to go ahead and play Mr. Conservative here. Check it out.
Bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Pastor Jamal Bryant attacking black conservatives who went to the White House for the Black History Month event. Now, before I get into it, shout out to everybody who was there. You guys looked amazing. I was so proud of you guys. It's a really good experience to go to the White House and just take in everything, talking to people, seeing what the White House is, being in that environment with like-minded people on the same page. It's nothing like it. It's a great experience. I'm glad you guys are able to have it. Now, somebody in the crowd had a picture of Jamal Bryant and was talking about him, and I guess Jamal Bryant got upset and then went to his church and attacked everybody right there in the pulpit. Now, before I go any further into it, let's get to the actual video in question that may have triggered Jamal Bryant. And shout out to Craig Long. This is his video right there. You guys, please follow Craig Long on YouTube. Follow him.
Well, we might get into Craig because Craig did some emotional manipulation too. I thought was pretty cool. So more than likely, we're going to get into Craig next. Now, notice the word is pulpit, and it's spelled P-U-L-P-I-P, but vowels are interchangeable, right? So pulpit, right? Like a mosh pit, but pulpit. And it's a pool. And we know that the pool is water. That's emotions. So once again, you are these people's emotional puppet. You get emotionally manipulated through sound, form, and vibration. Okay? Through tone, through frequencies, through your own inner weakness, your own emotional weaknesses is how these people get to you. These are the exercises that we do for people who are vocalists. We have to do, especially if you do metal or any type of scream. Any matter of fact, it don't even matter. Just any type of vocals. Even public speaking, you have to practice your vocals. Okay, and you all these different sounds you make with your throat for practice. And so, when someone is in the microphone, a good microphone, and they're like, that's all music, emotion. So let's go. They was messy as fuck for this, though.
I'm on TikTok. Follow.
Because when I first saw it, right, I said, who the hell is that? I saw the video and I was like, who is this guy picture that they got? Who's that? Like, who's this nigga? Who's this? And then that's how I came down this rabbit hole. But this conservative guy that's talking, he has a very young voice. I swear I don't expect him to look like that. Then I have to remember he's from the I think he said he's from the DMV area. Yeah, he did mention that. We'll listen. Let's go.
Follow him on Instagram, follow him everywhere. You see his tag right there, official Craig Long 45. Let's watch this. Then we're going to watch Jamal Bryant's reaction. And shout out to my friend Jasmine right there. And Craig is the one who's recording. You're going to hear his voice. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Yeah. Who is that right there? Who that right there? Jamal, what's his name? Yeah. Jamal Bryant. Is that you, Jamal? Is that you, Jamal?
And that's an insult, because when people are pastor and minister and deacon, they prefer you to call them by those titles. So if someone say I'm Pastor Jamal, it's like, hi Jamal. That's like an insult. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to give them that title. I don't even like that. That was the emotional manipulation, okay, in this moment. That right there. Just here's the thing. Let's just look at the entire thing to why he got set off the way that he did, okay? And I want you to start really paying attention to this type of stuff so you yourself can start seeing these emotional manipulative tactics. All right. This is the White House. First of all, let's take it all the way back. Trump took away Black History Month. Trump took away Black History Month because there's a lot of people who wanted to take away Black History Month. Or Trump wouldn't have even thought about taking away Black History Month. Trump took away what was taught in the military because people wanted things to be taken away out of the military. Go watch the series on the dark psychology of Trump. I need to start streaming or sharing that one more also. All right. Because people wanted that. He's doing everything that people wanted. Okay. Now, he takes it away. People say, fuck you. We're still going to celebrate it. So he says, hey, I want to give the Black History Month in the White House, because he's very American and he believes in Americans and he believes in America. And he loves his country, which is America. Believe it or not, he really does. Okay. And so therefore, he is here to make it great. So who are the people who have made America great that he feels in history, right? It is the foundational Black Americans who are the descendants of the slaves. Have Black people not wanted that to be acknowledged, not just for each other or for other people in their culture, but as a whole in the culture? Have Black people not wanted that thing right there to be acknowledged? So much that foundational Black American is going to be on the application moving forward. You're not even African American or Black American. You are a foundational Black American, meaning you are a naturalized citizen of this country. Okay. Now me, you know my situation. Technically, it's split. It's between American and Caribbean culture. But I don't know nothing about I can't say I don't know nothing. I've never been to the actual Caribbean islands. You get what I'm saying? My dad has, and my other family member, I have not. Okay. Now, here we go. So now not only is this putting Black people in an uproar because, you know, this is a White House party and stuff like that, and it's Black history in the White House, but where it really gets fucked up is now they got a picture of this man. It looks like like he's really there. It's just too big for him to be there. And they're just flashing his picture and they're calling this nigga Jamal. They're not calling him pastor. They're calling him Jamal by his real name. So we know that's kind of like fight words, like Jamal, da, da, da. You see what I'm saying? So they're doing all of this. So this is like they want to fight. And it is also insulting to him because it's like, I guess he would never be at the White House. Okay, for Black History Month or step foot. I guess Trump is the White House and Trump will be the devil, I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Come on, Jamal. Jamal, you got 4 years.
Is that you, Jamal?
You got 4 years to find Jesus and get saved for real. Get saved for real, Jamal.
Oh, see. They used his own beliefs against him. You got to really find Jesus and get saved, Jamal. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a good tactic right there. Whoever that lady was. That was real good. He's smiling.
Take that double dip. Take that double dip. Find Jesus for real, Jamal. Right.
So this, whoever this woman is, I'm dead. Is that her talking? What does her have?
Find Jesus for real, Jamal.
Oh, make America great again. Okay.
That's the video right there. That's why.
Oh, wow. Okay. She put her face in the camera and said, find him for real. So that was an insult. That was a good emotional. That was a good tactic right there. Whoever that lady was, that was real good. She said, find Jesus for real. Oh, shit. That's a double entendre. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, the whole Jesus is supposed to come back. Jesus may not be real. That was a real double entendre, which she said, I like that. Let's go.
Is upset. Now, if you ask me, I think the reason why the little picture, I don't know how they got that. It's a cardboard cutout. I don't know what that is, but maybe the reason why it's there is because he has attacked us before. He doesn't like black conservatives. He doesn't like what we got going on. So maybe that's what that was as far as the picture. All right. Now let's keep on moving here. This is
okay. That makes sense. So that's obvious. I said that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and Jamal, he's going to respond now, but I want you to pay attention to how he responds. Take your emotions out of what he's saying. Take the emotions out and listen to what he's saying.
His response. All right. And I will link to this and that video in the box. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Praying for me all week. You've been nervous all week, but I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves.
Now, in this speech, in this sermon, he's going to say quite a few things that are incorrect. Shout out to Maj Toure. I was watching your video about this, and you correctly mentioned, about the spook who sat by the door. This is a good person, somebody who was able to get inside knowledge from the CIA and then bring it back to the hood and teach them how to go about doing certain things, counterterrorism, just educate.
Yeah, because he said a lot of things that didn't make sense, and I was going to get into that. Hold on. Who was that person name he said?
Inside knowledge from the CIA.
1 second, y'all. Let me go back.
That sat at the door. These runaway slaves.
Now, in this speech, in this sermon, he's going to say quite a few things that are incorrect. Shout out to Maj Toure. I was watching your video about this, and you correctly mentioned, about the spook who sat by the door. This is a good person, somebody who was able to get inside knowledge from the CIA and then bring it back to the hood and teach them how to go about doing certain things, counterterrorism, just educating people with what he gained from them. Okay, so he's going to say a lot of things here that are just not right. But unfortunately, in the community, we've kind of normalized being incorrect as being okay.
He's hiding in the White House, gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid. If you got real courage, don't show my picture. Show the picture of the one that fired the Black Joint Chief of Staff from the military.
Now, you're speaking about Trump firing the Black Joint Chief of Staff, but Trump was the one who hired him. Talk about that part. That's funny how they just always give you a piece of it without the full thing. That's lying by omission. But I don't think Jamal Bryant even knew that. This is an ignorant person. And at one point in the Black community, I'm going to preach a little bit here, so please pardon me. At one point in the Black community, the preacher was the only one who knew how to read. He was the only literate one. So we depended upon this man for a lot of what we did in our everyday lives. Some people still depend on him to teach them everything. The problem is that these guys don't know anything. These guys are uneducated themselves.
If you're going to show a picture of the CEO of Target, Walmart, McDonald's, and Amazon that does not recognize black dollars or black business.
Now he's talking about DEI initiatives. Newsflash, Jamal Bryant, DEI is not for us. DEI is for them, meaning the LGBTs and really white people.
All right, we're not getting into he's getting into the factual stuff. Okay. The way he's doing it is exactly how I want you to do it. Get away from the emotions and get into the logics of what's being said. 3 things already that's not factual. When he said runaway slaves, that was already where I clicked out, because I'm like, the runaway slave knew. See, pay attention to what I just told you. The runaway slave knew that they needed to be free. They knew what their position was, and they needed to be free. And so they congregated in the church so they can go be free. And then the pastor was put in the church to preach about how to be a good slave. You see how the games play?
It's not for black people. So why are you going so hard to protect whites and LGBTs? I don't understand. I thought you were the pro-black pastor. If so, I can't tell.
If you're going to put up a picture of the state legislators in Florida that are banning black books. If you're going to put up
banning black books, no, we're talking about, we are bringing forward true black history that is not inundated with LGBTQ propaganda. Again, why are you going so hard for the LGBTs? I think it's because you're ignorant and you've allowed them to brainwash you into believing that their causes and their narratives are going to help you. Maybe they help you financially as Jamal Bryant, but they're not going to help the masses of us as black people. But again, let's keep on going. And I'm sorry for the interruptions. Please forgive me.
Put up the picture of the one who is stealing classified information.
I'm talking about Elon Musk stealing classified information, the same information that any old person that works in this particular place could have had before. We're talking about just data as far as where your money is going. Why wouldn't you want to know where your tax money is going, Jamal Bryant? Okay. Have you ever had tax debt before? Now, if you had $1.5 million in tax debt, random number, I'm not saying he has, but if you had that amount of money in debt and you paid it, wouldn't you be upset if you realized your money was going toward an LGBT opera in Ukraine or something silly like that? Or again, are you supporting the LGBT on the low?
From the IRS and Social Security. If you gonna put up a picture of those that don't want your mama to pay $35 for insulin and your child to pay $35 for inhaler.
Now, that right there, it's a bunch of misinformation about that. Like, all of what he's saying right here is just from the news, and that's how they do. They'll tell you a piece of the story without telling you the full thing.
If you're going to put up a picture of those that are jailing children and separating families.
Now, since when does someone commit a crime and get to go to jail with their whole family? Okay, how many black men in jail right now do not have their wife and kids with them? So why would an illegal alien coming across the border breaking the law be any different?
I ain't ever scared. In case you forgot, I'm from the west side of Baltimore. If you got a problem, pull up on me.
Okay, now you're from Baltimore. Why are you in Atlanta? What happened? Did you have something going on with one of your church members? Like, what happened? Or did you just upgrade to a better church? I'm trying to understand. And pull up on you, what that mean? Like some physical stuff? You don't want to do that. So you're in Atlanta. I'm not far from Atlanta. We got mutual friends. We can make that happen. We could do a podcast or something like that. I know people that you know. It just take one phone call to make it happen if you want it. You let me know, Jamal Bryant.
Stokely Carmichael said, our fathers had to run, but my generation is out of breath. We ain't running no more. Yea, though I walk. And after being on the run for 26 years from Saul and Philistines, David said, my running days are over.
I forgot he was in church. I was like, oh, we're bringing the Bible up. Man, I totally forgot where we were. I thought it was just like a Black Lives Matter rally. I didn't know what was going on, but let's continue.
We don't have to run anymore. You only run when you're scared. But you walk when you got confidence. That greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Would you look at your neighbor and tell him, I ain't running nowhere. Be like a tree. Be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, knowing that your labor is not in vain. I'm not going to run when nobody is chasing me, but I'm going to walk like a smooth operator. I got to walk because I understand that no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. All these other churches might not say nothing, but at 6400 Woodrow, we right outside of Decatur where it's greater. You got to understand that there is more for us than there are against us. Look at your neighbor and say, as long as we stick together, we ain't gotta run. Harriet Tubman said, whenever I tried.
I want to just interrupt right quick. I mean, who is this message for? I'm looking at the crowd. I'm seeing people that's like 65 and up. You're looking like a senior citizens community, basically. Where are the young people? Where are the men, the actual masculine men that's not gay or on the down low? And shout out to all the LGBT dudes, the regular gay people, the regular normies. These are not the ones, you guys are not the ones that are here. The ones that are here, a lot of them are on the low and or just weak men in general. Even if they're not gay, they're just weak.
To make our people be free, there were a few Negroes that tried to go backwards and tried to risk our freedom. I feel bad for them cool in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. Get out of there, Negro, and stand with your people so that you understand that God is on our side.
All right, there we go. That is your pastor, not your pastor. That is a pastor, allegedly, Jamal Bryant. Racial slurs, old black stereotypes from the 1920s and 1810s, the same things that they would say that the white man would use against us in a racial way to keep us subjugated. You're going to say that right there on stage. And everybody in the crowd is applauding like trained seals. It's really crazy. The people in that crowd ain't going nowhere unless they done already got there. You're not going to inspire the youth. You're not going to really bring forward any kind of productivity in the community. All you're going to do is just defend white people and the LGBTs as you did throughout this entire little sermon right here. Then you want to try to hide it and say, oh, I'm really for the black people. You guys in the White House, stand with your people. Nah, you stand with your people, sir. You stand by your wife who you cheated on when you were married in Baltimore as a pastor. You stand with her. You see, look, as I close, I want to say this. Those of us that are conservative and thinking outside the box and not in this old, ridiculous, worn out style, this black church style that ain't going nowhere, that doesn't help anybody.
Nope.
We are beyond that, and we are successful living our lives and contributing in a positive way to this country and to this world. You guys are not stuck in the past, not going forward, stagnant, not educating yourselves, don't know anything, idiots, watching TV, letting the white man control your every step. We're done with that. So look, Jamal Bryant, you say pull up on you, right? All right, well, look, I don't live far from Atlanta. You right there in Lithonia, Stonecrest on the east side. Okay, we have mutual friends. Let's set it up. Let's have a podcast. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a talk. And then we can get through everything. Any kind of question you want to ask a black conservative, you can ask me. I'll come through with the MAGA hat on and everything. Ask me whatever you want, and let's talk about it that way rather than doing this in front of your audience that don't know anything because you don't know anything. And I think
you're not going to do that because the Religious, emotional brainwashing and lies have to keep going. They have to keep tapping into people emotionally. I'm going to get to the guy's response. They have to keep tapping into you emotionally. They have to keep lying to you. All right? So going into some kind of logical conversation is going to make people think. And that's not what the purpose of religion is. It's not so much of thinking. It's more about feeling and believing, which is delusional in itself. All right, let me find this dude responding. Fell asleep last night, and Robert Greene, How to Seduce Anyone, came back up again. that seems to always happen. Okay, so this is the response. Fake woke. We know that fake has become the biggest word that Trump has been dragging because he does what everybody else do. You know, he knows what he's a businessman, so he knows how to market words. Calls Black Trump supporters coons behind the pulpit in church to say like, oh, he's cussing behind the church. Okay, good job. All right, so that's his little manipulative tactic, Mr. Craig Long. All right, let's see what goes on here. Craig is light-skinned too. I don't think he's fully Black. Hold on, you could tell I was watching this. 1 second. Let me roll it back. Now, the one thing I have learned with manipulation tactics is you have to listen to the very first thing that someone says. The manipulation starts with the very first word, sentence, emotion. All right?
Today we are setting up this Chick-fil-A employee for anything she wants.
You could pick any item you want. I'll go get it for you. What have you always wanted?
When those people were at the White House and they were holding up the cardboard sign of this pastor.
Who is that right there? Who that right there? Jamal, what's his name? Yeah. Jamal Bryant. Is that you, Jamal? Is that you, Jamal?
He had a white woman. He starts the video with a white woman. Okay. Let me see where this is going.
Is that you, Jamal?
The white woman is being.
Is that you, Jamal?
Okay.
You got 4 years to find Jesus and get saved for real.
Okay, hold on. The white woman right now is the most dragged one, literally, figuratively online and literally. I saw a video of white women are actually at these protests, and she's getting held by her hair and getting fucking dragged. Okay. And that's who he used. That's the first person he used. Let's go.
Get saved for real, Jamal.
By the way, if you are new here, this is V314 Bad Bitch Craft Radio. We do dark psychology analysis. We read dark psychology books. We do dark psychology studies. Okay. This week theme is the science of evil and the brain and all these things and the study of evil. That's this week. Right now, we're just doing the latest news. And when we do news or any analysis, observation of news, we always do the dark psychology analysis of it. All right. That's what's going on here.
Take that double dip. All you ever talk about is take that double dip. Find Jesus for real, Jamal. Right.
Find Jesus, Jamal.
Find Jesus for real, Jamal.
Yeah. Listen to his response. It's powerful. And he's right on. Dead on.
Been praying for me all week. You've been nervous all week.
See, now it flipped on me because she's talking about he's dead on. So she's ignorant. And she damn sure don't know history.
But I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House.
This fake, self-serving woke pastor is walking in dangerous territory with God. Not man, but with God.
This dangerous woke pastor is walking in dangerous territory, not with man, but with God. So once again, manipulation. Using someone's beliefs, ideologies, or anything against them.
Well, I'll be damned. I never in my life would have thought that we would have triggered a woke, self-centered, self-proclaimed pastor, because he ain't no damn pastor, to get behind the pulpit and preach blasphemy and racism. Never in my life. I'm telling y'all, I wish I could tell y'all I'm making this up. We got Jamal Bryant out of Georgia with his mega church, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, is in the news again. And this time, instead of pulling out the Bible and letting God work through him and using scripture, using the word, he comes up with his own sermon to blast and condemn and call derogatory racist comments towards Black Trump supporters that went to the White House to celebrate Black History Month.
All right, now we here. We at the White House. Look in the golden age. We are with Donald Trump celebrating Black History Month, baby. Here we are now.
It's my bow tie. We at the White House.
Here at the Black History Month celebration at the White House. Oh yeah. And hey, everybody here, Cash Patel has been confirmed as an FBI director. Who's ready for some heads to roll? Let's go. Cash, I know you got the receipts. Hold them mother suckers accountable. Yeah, that's right. Jamal, yeah.
I'm here with the Honorable Judge Joe Brown, and I just wanted him to drop something nice for the people today in honor of Black history in its entirety, not just in one. Can you give us something?
That's a fly ass suit.
Big ideas
Judge,
don't come easy. But when you
Judge Joe Brown got a fly ass suit on.
It's time to move into the future.
Time to move into
This is the opportunity. Don't let it pass.
Calling us the N-word with the hard R, spooks and coons and runaway slaves, all because we choose to.
Okay, wait. He lying. He lying. He lying. He did not. Over exaggerating one of the 40 manipulative tactics. He did not call you a word of hard R. Hold on. He did not call you the N-word with the hard R. He did call you a coon. See, let's go back to what he said. Now, we know he started with the white woman. That was on purpose. Okay?
Calling us the N-word with the hard R, spooks and coons and runaway slaves, all because we choose.
N-word with the hard R, spooks and coons and runaway slaves. Words. Now this dude right here, he don't feel no type of way. He don't feel no type of way. Okay. He the one who is this the one who put the picture? I think this is him. this is an emotional space for him to attack Jamal the way he wanted to. He picked the fight with him by showing the picture. You have to know how someone picks a fight with you. And people who pick fights, they do it very shady. Okay? So he picked the fight. And now he can fight like he wants to fight. Because he got a response. See, here's the thing about people who pick fights. Once they get the response that they need, once you get any kind of response, he could have gave him a 3-second response. He still was going to drag him because this guy right here already felt what he felt about Jamal. So now he has the platform to let it out. So I'm going to go ahead and just let it play out. Let's go. Just pay attention. Don't get caught up with the emotions. The emotions is there behind the words because of what he really feels about this man. All right, Dusty Wall, let's go.
To support Donald Trump. Now, this is following his controversy of calling the boycott Target because Target decided to stop their DEI programming, and the fact that he's mad because a former general lost his job.
DeKalb County pastor is now responding to what he calls an intimidation tactic. He says it came from people inside the White House. Take a look at this video, reportedly taken from the East Room. You can see a group mocking New Birth pastor Dr. Jamal Bryant. Channel 2's Audrey Washington has reaction now from the pastor in Stonecrest.
Right, and the video is making waves on social media. In the video, it shows a group of people calling out Dr. Jamal Bryant by name and holding up a picture of him inside the White House. Now, Dr. Jamal Bryant is responding, saying he will not be intimidated. A new video causing controversy from the White House in D.C. to the Lord's House in DeKalb County.
That's right.
Posted by White House correspondent Ava Ryan to her Instagram page, the video appears to show a large group of people inside the East Room celebrating Black History Month and the newly appointed FBI Director Kash Patel. But watch what happened next. A man holding a cell phone pans around the room and says,
"Hold them mother suckers accountable."
Then in the background, someone holds up a cutout picture of Dr. Jamal Bryant, the pastor of New Birth Cathedral in Stonecrest.
That's right. Jamal, yeah.
Dr. Bryant, a longtime critic of President Donald Trump, called for a boycott of Target after the retail giant rolled back its DEI initiatives in step with President Trump's executive order. Friday, Dr. Bryant shot back and posted his own video in response.
It wasn't just about me, but it was, in fact, an attempt to silence the prophetic voice of the Black church.
In a statement to Channel 2, Dr. Bryant wrote in part, quote, "To be singled out at a White House reception as a potential target to be held accountable by the newly appointed FBI director was not on my 2025 bingo card. But let me be clear that no amount of intimidation or political pressure will silence the truth." And Dr. Jamal Bryant told me he will continue to fight for truth and justice. And we are here in Stonecrest, DeKalb County. Audrey Washington, Channel 2 Action.
Failing to tell his congregation that that general was woke-ity woke. He professed and he was everywhere with his Black Lives Matter radical messaging, all in the military and elsewhere. So that's why he got fired. But I'm telling y'all, this man is playing with some serious, dangerous territory when it comes to God. Now, let me say this before I go on. I am not a pastor, a preacher, or a theologian, or an expert of the Bible. I am not a historian of the Bible. I'm not a Bible thumper, but I am a Christian and I'm a work in progress Christian. So I want to make sure that's clear. I'm not trying to take some type of moral high ground as if I know how to preach the word. But I do know that the word says, "Woe unto the pastor that scattereth the sheep. He is his
What the hell is this commercial? What is that? That shit look dangerous.
Elk, the people that attend his church, those who watch him live and his playbacks, and the other people influenced around the world that watch him and listen to him, he is sending them down a broad way to damnation. He is leading them astray. Watch out for wolves in sheep clothes, because that is him. So I want to go into this clip of him calling us derogatories, being racist in the church, and people hooping and hollering and praising the fact that he is speaking this way behind the pulpit.
Because of what they doing in D.C. This ain't the first time they tried to ostracize black people. This ain't the first time they tried to minimize who you are. But we baby kids, we don't die, we multiply.
But before I get started, I want to make sure if it's your first time on the channel, make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe and notification bell. I only do mean tweet commentary. I am a Trump supporter. I'm a Trumper. I'm a MAGA supporter. It's Make America Great and it's Put America First. So that's the kind of commentary that I do. I do mean tweet commentary. Trump used to do tweets, mean tweets. I do mean tweet commentary. If you don't like it, then move along. But if you're a supporter on my page, I appreciate you. So with that being said, let's go on into the video. And I wish I could tell you that I'm making this up, y'all. Wait till you hear this crazy fool.
I feel bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid.
Man, I know Jamal ain't running his mouth. Ain't he a serial adulterer? He's the one that said his last marriage ended because of infidelity. I mean, man, you cannot make this up, man. Here he is behind the pulpit calling people racist, derogatory terms because they support Donald J. Trump. They voted for who they wanted to vote for. They voted because of their values. They voted because maybe they're Christians and they're pro-life and don't want to kill babies in the womb. They support because they support Trump and the Republican Party because they want the borders locked down. They want safer streets. They want law and order. They want lower cost of food and gas. They want inflation to go down. They want those. They want the Department of Government Efficiency to find where they're doing frivolous spending and lining their pockets, wasting the taxpayer dollar. This is my problem with the Black KKK collective groupthink. This is how they think. And they don't even know why they're mad and don't like Trump. I'm telling y'all, man. They don't even know why they're mad and don't like Trump. I want to play this quick video of this guy breaking it down. Why should we support the Democratic Party? Why does a pastor that's supposed to be preaching the God's words behind the pulpit, preaching his own devious sermon because he's mad, because he's frustrated and can't cope with the fact that Trump is his daddy and that we're supposed to vote and think the same way he does. And this is why so many people are turning away from the church. They're turning away from the church because there ain't no God in there. It's just a bunch of self-serving blasphemy devils behind the pulpit preaching blasphemy and everything opposite of the Lord's word. They are paid actors and shillers for the Democratic Party. But this guy breaks it down. So why should we support the Democratic Party? Why? Check this out.
So when did he become a racist? When they told you he was. Was he a problem for Hillary Clinton when he stood up at Chelsea Clinton's wedding? When he was golfing with Bill Clinton for years? Make it make sense. Oh, this is not me advocating for Donald Trump, but I need to give you an example that you cannot argue. People are upset because Donald Trump's a racist because
they always say he's a racist, and they always bring up the Central Park Five, and they always Oprah.
I have to say this. If we get into religious ideology and beliefs, putting the consciousness ahead, behind us, it does make sense if you are someone who's said to be Christian religious, you would choose a Donald Trump and not a Kamala Harris, right? So everybody has an excellent debate That's a good tactic. The one, well, not, that's a good point that everybody brings up with these pastors and all this kind of stuff. And it's very interesting how it's so easy to use people's beliefs, ideologies, and all this stuff against them. This is why people don't like you when you're a quiet person. When you're dismissive and you're aloof and you don't really put yourself out there, you don't really talk too much about stuff. Because see, people can use anything to try to manipulate you and hurt you. You get what I'm saying? But those of us who are the master manipulators are in the master manipulation class. We learn what information we can tell and not. We know how to tell the truth and not tell the truth at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to play games because, you know, some master manipulators like to play games. Tell one person one thing and tell another person one thing. That's the behavior of a troll. Trolls do that. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. And I'm going to see who say what. That's troll behavior. You feel me? I'm not trying to teach you how to troll. I'm teaching you how to be smarter, right? So people, it's so easy for anybody to attack this dude, this Jamal dude. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to be like, well, if you believe this, then doesn't this right here what you're doing go against the same thing that you believe? Because it's just logics is the one thing that when it comes to religious people, they hate that. They hate logic. They hate that level of thinking. But let's go on because he's going off. 10:21.
Whoopi Goldberg, all of them used to hang out with Donald J. Trump. They all loved him. It wasn't until he came down that escalator saying that he was running for presidency, CNN went on full-fledged blitz. And we got the propaganda, the misinformation, and disinformation. You know, remember Russia, Russia, Russia? That's when they started manufacturing y'all's hate to make you think that Trump is a racist when we love this man. He was in rap videos. He was in shows. He was everywhere. He was hanging out with Rosa Parks. He was hanging out getting medals. But all of a sudden, somehow he's racist.
He took out an $85,000 ad in the newspapers against the exonerated five, formerly known as the Central Park Five.
And they choose to not bring up that the prosecutors were Democrat, by the way.
You know what everybody leaves out of that conversation? The first is all we had was the information that was being presented to us on the news. And at the time, all that information said that we got him. Now, here's the gag. At the time when Donald Trump did that, he was a registered Democrat.
Boom.
He was a private citizen. The district attorney, the assistant district attorney, the chief of police, the mayor, all of them happened to be Democrats. But that didn't stop anybody from...
They don't want to bring that up, though.
...dealing with the fact that they paraded them brothers up on that stage at the DNC in 2024.
And they were guilty. You got to look at Larry Elder's take on this. Epic Time. Look up Larry Elder's take on it. The Central Park Five, they were guilty, man.
Like, oh, Donald Trump's the problem. Oh, but I didn't hear any of them issue an apology for what they did to railroad those boys for a decade and some change. How does that make sense? So again, when you're told that Orange Man is bad, but you're not told that all these blue people who sat up there, who set these black and brown, when it comes to these five boys, you have no smoke for them.
That's the only thing they ever bring up is the Central Park Five because he put out that ad. Nothing else. Oh, he did the apartments. All of the, he discriminated against. I'm black and I don't really want to vote to y'all.
Matter of fact, one of the assistant prosecutor is still a huge donor to the Democratic National Convention. So I'm trying to understand how that makes sense. And then, by the way, where's all your smoke for these corporations that were buying $1 million suites at the DNC?
You remember Chris Cuomo when he said, "Oh, hey, all these seats up here, that's $500,000 to get up there in the skybox seats." Remember that? That's what he's talking about.
You care about black life so much. Why were you okay with them having abortion mobiles bills a block away from the Democratic National Convention. If we're going to talk about preserving life, if we're going to talk about racism, we're going to talk about systemic things, you have to talk about it regardless of who you like or who has the best PR.
Facts. Facts. Because we all know Margaret Sanger. She believed in eugenics. She literally was about exterminating Black kids and people that were feeble, weak, cast away. And yet they say, oh, well, her mission changed. Planned Parenthood changed. But it's still strategically put in all our communities, all urban communities. I don't see why y'all don't see it.
Or who says the things you don't like? Y'all know for a fact Joe Biden was a racist. Always been a racist. And the only reason he was vice president under Obama is because they wanted to balance the ticket. So,
yep. He gave the eulogy at who he said was like a mentor, Robert Byrd, who was a KKK recruiter.
So if you put a Negro, let's make sure we put somebody who was mentored by Strom Thurmond, who eulogized Robert Byrd, who was an exalted Cyclops in the Klan. You're okay with Hillary Clinton being a Goldwater girl, who was a card-carrying racist and segregationist.
Racist. Democrats always been racist.
Who also said, we need to bring them to heel. Them meaning you and me, because we were teenagers at the time when she said that, and she was the first lady. So is racism a problem, or is racism with the right amount of PR?
It's about right amount of PR. It's about a manufactured outrage. You guys run around here calling everything racist. Y'all gobble up everything these white liberals give you. But you don't even really know why you're mad. Because we used to love Donald Trump before he came down that escalator and started running for presidency.
A problem. But then again, when you got somebody creating a First Step Act, getting these people out for nonviolent drug offenses.
First Step Act, which is pretty much reversing Sleepy Joe Biden's 94 crime bill that disproportionately locked up Black and brown people. That one.
You got Kim Kardashian. You got her advocating for more Black people than I see Black people are advocating for Black people. Not making a bunch of noise on the Senate floor, not pontificating on somebody's podcast, literally taking their time, money, energy, and efforts and putting it out there. So I'm trying to understand, when is it enough that we hold everybody accountable? Not the
when is it?
People they just tell you to like, oh, you won't. You only want to be responsible for.
Boom. I'm telling y'all. So again, tell me why I'm supposed to vote Democrat.
Yeah, I don't have to get into this anymore. Here's the point. All of this preaching, hooting, hollering, and talking about the truth. But let's get into the truth. As an adult, you are responsible for yourself. The first universal law is self-preservation, correct? Therefore, your children that you make are part of your preservation. Therefore, your family is your family. No one is responsible for you and your family. You should not be making a family if you cannot afford it. If you want to be poor with a family and in love, that is your poor business. Right? Now, I understand healthcare. I understand Medicaid, I understand Medicare. Health is important. But you still have to take care of your health. You are still responsible for your health. Just as you're responsible for feeding yourself and your family and your children. Once again, self-preservation, taking care of what is yours. So you want to hear the truth. Oh, but why y'all pastors don't want this to be? Because those are the people they benefit from. They are the biggest leechers of the community and liars and deceivers. So they need to keep leeching off the people. The whole Jesus story was about being around losers and unwanted motherfuckers. And so the pastor has that same Jesus archetype. Boom. You have to pay attention to that. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to go into, matter of fact, no, I'm not going to turn this off. I'm going to go ahead and continue with emotional puppets. All right. Let me just go ahead and let this rock out. Let's go.
Dopamine is more than just a messenger of pleasure, it is the architect of anticipation. When we encounter something that promises to fulfill a need, whether it's a slice of chocolate cake, a compliment from a stranger, or the thrill of a new romance, our brain releases dopamine. This surge doesn't just
Drowning in influencer marketing chaos? Not sure where to begin? At Popular Page, we have over 100,000 influencers to perfectly match with your brand. Easily pick an influencer and let their content do the work.
Doesn't just make us feel good, it teaches us to want more. It creates a feedback loop, a cycle of craving and reward that keeps us coming back for another hit. This is why cravings can feel so much like addiction. The brain doesn't distinguish between the desire for a drug and the desire for love, recognition, or security. The mechanism is the same, a dopamine-driven loop that reinforces behavior. We chase the things that make us feel good, and in doing so, we train our brains to crave them even more. It's a survival mechanism, honed over millennia. After all, our ancestors who craved food, connection, and safety were more likely to survive and pass on their genes. But in the modern world, this ancient wiring can be hijacked by advertisers, by social media, by anyone who knows how to push the right buttons. And then there is the subconscious, the shadowy realm beneath our awareness where so much of our behavior is shaped. Cravings are not always born of conscious thought. They are often the product of programming, patterns of thought and behavior etched into our minds by experience, culture, and repetition. A child who grows up seeking approval may spend a lifetime craving validation. A person who associates love with material gifts may find themselves chasing possessions instead of connection. These subconscious scripts run in the background, quietly guiding our choices without us even realizing it. The link between cravings and subconscious programming is both fascinating and unsettling. It means that many of our desires are not truly our own. They are the echoes of past experiences, the imprints of societal expectations, the whispers of messages we've absorbed without question. And yet, these cravings feel deeply personal, as though they are the very essence of who we are. This is the paradox of emotional cravings. They are both universal and uniquely individual, shaped by the interplay of biology and biography. As we explore the science of emotional cravings, we begin to see how powerful they are and how vulnerable they make us. The brain's reward system, the role of dopamine, the influence of subconscious programming, these are the tools that shape our desires. And in the hands of those who understand them, they are also the tools of influence. But knowledge is power. By understanding the science behind our cravings, we can begin to unravel the threads that bind us. We can question where our desires come from, whether they truly serve us, and who stands to benefit from them. This is not just a journey into the brain, it is a journey into the self. And it begins with a simple question: what do you really crave and why? Chapter 2. Identifying vulnerabilities in human desire. We are all born incomplete. Not in the physical sense, but in the emotional one. From the moment we take our first breath, we are searching for something to fill the voids we may not even know exist. These voids are the cracks in our emotional foundation, the spaces where longing takes root. They are shaped by our earliest experiences, our unmet needs, and the wounds we carry from childhood. And they make us vulnerable. To understand human desire is to understand these voids. They are universal, yet deeply personal. Some crave love, having grown up in homes where affection was scarce or conditional. Others seek validation, their sense of self-worth fractured by years of criticism or neglect. For some, it is security they desire, a refuge from the chaos of an unpredictable world. And for others, it is freedom, a longing born of feeling trapped or controlled. These emotional voids are the silent drivers of our behavior, the hidden forces that push us towards certain people, choices, and paths. Childhood is where these vulnerabilities often begin. It is in those formative years that we first learn what to expect from the world and from ourselves. A child who is praised for achievements but ignored for failures may grow up equating success with worth. A child who is constantly compared to others may spend a lifetime chasing approval. These early experiences create emotional blueprints, subconscious scripts that guide our desires and decisions long into adulthood, but these vulnerabilities are not just personal, they are also relational. They shape how we connect with others, how we seek to be seen and understood. And they make us susceptible to influence. When someone recognizes our emotional gaps, when they see the voids we are trying to fill, they hold a kind of power over us. They can offer us what we crave, whether it's love, validation, security, or freedom. And in doing so, they can guide us, consciously or not, toward their own ends. This is where the art of strategic influence comes into play. It is not about exploiting vulnerabilities for malicious purposes, though that can interfere with its desires, its unspoken needs. It is about recognizing that everyone carries wounds and that these wounds shape how they see the world and what they seek from it. Take, for example, a leader who understands that their team craves recognition. By offering praise and acknowledgement, they can inspire loyalty and motivation. Or consider a marketer who taps into the universal desire for belonging, crafting messages that make consumers feel part of a community. Examples of how understanding emotional vulnerabilities can be used to influence behavior, but with this understanding comes responsibility. To see the voids in others is to hold a mirror to their humanity and to our own. It is a reminder that we are all shaped by our experiences, all driven by our desires, all searching for something to make us feel whole. And it is a call to use this knowledge with care, with empathy, and with respect for the fragility of the human spirit. As we delve deeper into the complexities of human desire, we begin to see how interconnected we all are. Our vulnerabilities are not weaknesses to be exploited, they are bridges to be crossed, opportunities for connection and understanding. And in recognizing them in ourselves and in others, we take the first step toward wielding influence with integrity and compassion. Because in the end, the greatest power we hold is not the ability to control others, but the ability to see them, truly see them, and to help them feel seen in return. Chapter 3. The power of validation and approval. There is a hunger in all of us, a quiet but insistent need to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be told that we matter. This is the craving for validation, a desire so deeply ingrained in the human experience that it shapes our relationships, our choices, and even our sense of self. From the child seeking a parent's praise to the adult yearning for a boss's recognition, the need for external approval is a thread that runs through the tapestry of our lives. But why do
Get your shit together with Shopify, the commerce platform designed for entrepreneurs. Buy and print labels. Get discounted rates and access to built-in tools to make shipping a pleasure, not a pain. Power shipping with Shopify.
If you want to learn Python,
Why all these commercials? I have no clue. Oh my goodness. let's just work from here. Let's just work from here. All right. It states that there's emotional need that needs to be met, right? So it goes back into the self-journal. Goes back into what I told you. What is it that you need? What is it that you yearn for? What are you emotional about? What gets you emotional? Remember the things I told you about that? It's important to analyze these things for yourself, okay? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down from here. That was the news for the day. I'll let you know the next time I'm going to host the show. If, who knows? I may come back at 12. You never know. Anyway, I'm going to just drop it right here.